Cool, I'm Pat and this is the Happiness Spectrum. This is the sixth in a series of talks on personal management and how to live a life worth living and be happy. And this is about using project management techniques. And if you go to the website happinessspectrum.jimdofree.com, you'll see a picture in sepia of what looks like a dark satanic mill belching out smoke from the 19th century. However, it's a picture I took in 1989 whilst working as project manager for the environmental charity, the Merthyr and Cynnon Groundwork Trust in South Wales. It was my first job that used project management techniques to help restore the degraded environment of the South Wales coalfield communities. Notwithstanding the ravages of the Industrial Revolution and the iron and coal industries, the valleys of South Wales are beautiful. They descend from the hills of the Brecon Beacons National Park. They have wild, open moorland on the hilltops, with remnants of hanging oak woodlands on the valley sides, with the industrial and urban areas on the valley floor. It's a striking landscape of contrast. The job purpose was to implement locally based projects that helped restore the environment in a way that supported the social and economic development of the communities that were suffering as a consequence of the end of the coal industry. For better or worse, coal mines were closed in the 1980s, and the picture of what is a smokeless fuel works closed in the 1990s. There was much social, economic and environmental deprivation. It's where I started learning project management techniques as we implemented landscaping, conservation and educational projects. They are techniques I still use today to help achieve objectives and meet personal expectations. Using project management techniques are a useful way to help manage those things that are important to you. They are an effective way to help you achieve your expectations. Previously, I've used the phrase, don't agonize, organize. And project management is a useful way of thinking, helpful in getting organized and then getting things done. If we get things done that we're passionate about, then we tend to end up happier. There are many sophisticated project management tools, but for most people trying to undertake a personal project, there's a few simple resources that can help organize your planning and action. So what is a project? So a project has a start and a finish point. It has a specified goal or outcome. Alternatively, this could be called SMART objectives. And so see the previous talk about SMART objectives. It's non-routine. It's a one-off usually. It does involve uncertainty and it does require coordination. So it's not about the routine things such as the shopping or paying the bills. It's about substantive things that will bring about change in your life and through this make you happier when achieved. I want to focus on a few useful tools that can help organize personal project. The mnemonic PALM, Plan, Act, Reflect and Modify that I've used before, the project triangle and Gantt charts. There are many other project management tools and resources, but for most personal projects, keep it simple. So, PALM, Plan, Act, Reflect, Modify. This gives an overview of the project process. When planning a project, you need to define what you're trying to achieve. And in the previous talk, I suggested SMART objectives, so specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timetabled objectives as a useful way to do this. But before you start the project, i.e. before you act, it's useful to reflect on the three main forces that define the success of your project. And these are time, cost, and quality. This is called the project triangle. In any project, you're balancing these three forces. If you're in a rush, you may have to pay more or have a project of a lesser quality. If money and time are not a problem, then you can have the best quality. The project triangle is a useful way of helping to plan a project and to reflect on how well it's going. You may need to modify your expectations as you learn from actually doing it. Gantt charts are bar charts that schedule project activities. They're basically glorified lists that help you organize and sequence project tasks. They break the task down into small, manageable bits so that you can measure progress and not get daunted. Sometimes something you want to do seems so big that you never start it. Breaking it down into very small parts and just focusing on the next one that needs to be done is an effective way of getting the whole done. A Gantt chart helps organize this. There are three basic parts: a timeline with deadlines and a completion point, a list of activities, and a bar chart for each activity that represents each activity's duration. You can also add some optional things. A column for resource, and this usually means human resource, i.e. who's going to do that particular activity. Very, very important if you're collaborating with others on a project. The dependencies between activities. What can't you start before something else is finished? And the critical activities. What do you have to do and what would be nice to do? If it's a simple project, then a sheet of paper can be used to create a Gantt chart. Use a pencil and eraser to modify it. I also use a spreadsheet to create Gantt charts for more complicated projects. And as an example, you can look at one on the website happinessspectrum.jimdofree.com, where I've included a spreadsheet for the establishment of a supported employment service. I've argued that meeting your expectations is a way of being happy because it helps you lead a life worth living. Using project management techniques, especially the Gantt chart, I found, is a way of ensuring the things you want to do and are passionate about actually get done. The next talk is about dialectics.